Hello everybody! Today I have a very exciting video. We are doing a big book haul. It was my birthday a few weeks ago, so I treated myself to a bunch of horror books and a few non-horror ones, but we are going to go through everything that I got. I may have already read a couple, and I will be discussing my thoughts on those ones. As always, if any of these books take your fancy, please check content warnings before diving into any of them. I have a total of 10 books that we are going to go through today, and the first one is Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. This one is the story that inspired the classic movie Hellraiser. I'm ashamed to admit that I actually didn't watch Hellraiser until a couple of years ago for the first time. I really enjoyed the movie, and I know Clive Barker has written so many good horror books, so I genuinely can't believe I haven't read anything of his yet. I'm not sure how similar the book is to the movie, but this one is about a man that solves a mysterious puzzle box that unlocks a whole new world filled with these crazy creatures called Cenobites. But once this guy arrives in this world, he realizes that it's not everything that he thought it would be. They live in a world of pleasure, but that also comes with a lot of pain, and he now wants to escape and return to this world. I have no idea what to expect going into this one, but I'm very excited. It's not long at all, and if I like this one, I will definitely be checking out more of Clive Barker's work. I also want to read the Books of Blood, and also if you've watched any of the other Hellraiser movies, I've only watched the first one, so please let me know if the rest of the movies are worth watching, because that is definitely a series I feel like I could binge. Next we have a book that I remember reading about back when it was due to come out. I forgot about it, and then when I saw it in Waterstones the other day, I immediately grabbed it, and that is Something in the Walls by Daisy Pearce. This one is about a newly trained child psychologist. She is struggling to find work because she's inexperienced, and then one day she is approached by a journalist with a very interesting job proposition. There's a 13-year-old girl who claims she's being haunted by a witch. She's living with her family in a remote Cornish house, and this girl's symptoms are becoming increasingly disturbing. But when she arrives, she discovers that the village is actually hiding a lot of dark secrets. Their history is rooted in superstition and witchcraft, and she becomes desperate to find out what is going on in this village. This one sounds very cool and creepy. I love the element of witchcraft in there, and I haven't read any of this author's work before. I do believe they have some other horror novels. I think I will be picking this one up very soon, if not the next book that I read. Then next up, we have a book that I have already read since I did this haul, and that is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I had already read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. If you haven't heard of The Lottery, it's incredible. I would 100% go and check it out. It's super short, but the ending of it will genuinely leave you so shocked. So after reading that, I really wanted to check out some of her longer work. Shirley Jackson also wrote The Haunting of Hill House, which the TV show Haunting of Hill House is one of my favorite TV shows ever. Honestly, anything by Mike Flanagan is incredible. And I believe this one also inspired one of the TV shows that he did. However, it took me a while to read this book, considering it is only less than 200 pages, less than 150 pages. I think it took me about a week to read this, and I hate to admit that I didn't love it. It was interesting. I like Shirley Jackson's writing, but just the plot, I didn't feel like a ton of stuff happened. This one is about two sisters that live in a massive castle in this village. Their family own this castle until one day something very bad happened at a family dinner. Their family has not been the same since, and is about these two sisters navigating their life in this castle, especially in a village where they are kind of separated from everybody else. Because of this incident that happened, there's a very bad reputation that they have, and people don't really like them. If you've read this book and love it, please leave your thoughts down in the comments, because I would love to hear them. I'm very glad that I read it and checked out more of her work, and I will still be reading Haunting of Hill House at some point, but this one was just not a bit of me. The cover, however, gorgeous. Love this cover. It's great. So I'm still very happy to have it on my shelf. Next up, we have not a horror book. There are only two non-horror books in this entire haul, and the first one is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is the second book in the One Dark Window duology. I read the first book very recently and I really liked it. It's a very gothic fantasy, so I think if you are a horror reader and you kind of want to dive into some fantasy, this could be a good place to start. It's set in this world where this deck of cards was created, and each card has a different magical ability. So people that own the cards, they can tap them and tap into this power. Things like mind reading, making you invisible, giving you strength, beauty, but they also come with a cost. The more you use the cards, the more they take from you. And the story centers around a woman in this world that has a spirit, an entity living inside of her brain that basically came from one of these magical cards, and it is called the Nightmare. He protects her, but that also comes with a cost. I really liked the first one, and sometimes it's nice to take a break from the horror, but I still loved all of the gothic elements. The magic system is awesome and not one that I've seen before, so I would definitely recommend these books if you are looking to dabble into some other genres or just want a break from horror. Then next up, we have a book that has been on my radar for a while, and that is The Whistling. Is by Rebecca Netley, and this one just sounds like something I know I'm gonna love. I love isolated settings in my horror books. I love big gothic mansions, and I also love the supernatural and spirits. This one is about a woman that arrives on a remote Scottish island to become a nanny, but when she arrives, she learns that the girl she's nannying for hasn't spoken for months. But there is also something a lot creepier going on. It says that hypnotic lullabies are heard through the corridors, and strange dolls dolls appear in random rooms. That alone has me super intrigued. When I read about the strange dolls, it reminded me of Silent Companions, which I absolutely love. I gave that 5 stars. Also, there is a mystery about what happened to this girl's twin brother, and the previous nanny disappeared very suddenly. This one sounds incredible. There's so many good books in this haul, I don't know where to start. And I also remember seeing people talk about this book and saying that is very scary. We're about halfway through the book haul now, so if you're enjoying this video so far, please subscribe and let me know which of these books you are going to be reading. Then we have Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. This is by the same author that wrote Bloom, which I've heard great things about. I haven't read it yet, but this one sounds really cool. It's a very eat the rich story. It's about this woman that doesn't want to date this rich boy, but she desperately wants to meet his mother because she's the editor-in-chief of a magazine. She gets invited to a big celebration at their ancestral home, and she's certain she can put up with him and his family long enough to ask for an internship at this magazine because she's certain that she would never get in using traditional means. This one is another remote setting. She arrives at this enormous mansion on a island and experiences how the 1% live. But once all of the family members arrive on this island, things take a very dark turn because for decades, this family have made their servants and everybody sign contracts, and they are not happy with how they've been treated, so they have decided to take matters into their own hands. They have nothing to lose, and they see their only route out is to get rid of this family for good. I love a eat the rich story. Kind of gives me similar vibes to Ready or Not. I could be completely off with that, but just based on the blurb, that's kind of what it reminds me of, and that movie's great. Another short one, so I'm hoping to get through these very soon. Then next up, we have a book that I was very kindly sent by the publishers, and that is The Unworthy by Augustina Bazterrica. This is by the same author that wrote Tender as the Flesh. I've already read Tender as the Flesh. I absolutely loved that one, and I think I might love The Unworthy even more. I read Tender as the Flesh back when I was just kind of getting back into horror, and then I was kindly sent this last year, I want to say, when it came out, and they sent me this very cool version with the green sprayed edges. The Unworthy is set in a dystopian future where the world is not in good shape at all, and this girl is living in a sisterhood. This sisterhood is wild. They basically prove their worthiness through pain and doing terrible things to themselves and to others. And one of these girls living in this sisterhood, she keeps a diary, and then one day a new sister arrives to join their little coven, but she is very different from all of the other girls here, and things begin to spiral from there. This book is crazy from the very first page. It's super dark and pretty gruesome. There are some triggers in here that are very upsetting, but I still can't deny how much I liked this book. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that I love religious horror, so this one fits perfectly into that category. Moving on to a couple of hardback books that I purchased now. I don't love hardbacks, even though I have a whole shelf of them here behind me, just because I feel like they're harder to read. But some of these books, I was too excited to check them out that I couldn't wait for them to come out in paperback, so I had to buy them now. I'll put up with the hardbacks because I'm impatient. So the next book and my current read is Tradwife by Saratoga Schaefer. I talked about this in my most anticipated books of this year, and then I saw it in Waterstones, and I did debate waiting for the paperback to come out, but I just couldn't. It's marketed as being like a modern Rosemary's Baby, and I loved Rosemary's Baby. I also love the twist with the Tradwife social media stuff in this one, so it was completely worth picking up now. I have maybe 50 pages left to read. I'm really enjoying it so far. If you didn't hear me talk about this one in my anticipated books, it is about a traditional wife who lives at home. She cooks, cleans, does everything for her husband who goes to work. They've just moved out to a more remote home. She wants the perfect life, and the only thing that she's missing from that is a baby. She and her husband have kind of been growing apart recently, and then she finds a mysterious well on their property. She makes a wish into that well for a baby, but then once she gets pregnant, she starts to have weird cravings. The pregnancy is progressing way faster than normal, and she starts to suspect that something darker is at work here. Like I say, I only have about 50 pages left, and I will be finishing this as soon as possible. I have no idea what's going to happen in the end. I hope it's good, so I cannot wait to see how this one ends. We have 2 more books to go, and the next one is Widow's Point, The Complete Haunting. This is by Richard Chizmar and W.H. Chizmar. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. This one I saw someone that I follow on TikTok recommend, and the reason that I had to buy it immediately is because it is mixed media. So it's got emails in here, it's got video recordings, and I absolutely adore mixed media in my horror books. And it is also set out as paranormal ghost hunting. And again, maybe I'll read this one next. This is the 3rd book that I've said I'll read next, but this one also sounds incredible. It's about a very creepy lighthouse where the residents that live nearby say it's cursed, others claim that it's haunted. During its construction, 3 of the workers were killed. The accidents were never explained, and over the years, many more mysterious things have happened there, until finally the lighthouse was shut down. It's behind a security fence now, so people can't go there. And I believe this book is told through 2 different incidents of people going to investigate the hauntings there. It's been a while since I've read a mixed media horror story. I always look out for them. Anything with Blair Witch vibes. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. I can guarantee I will be adding them to my TBR immediately. And then last but not least, we have another book that I am so excited to read. I have seen so many people talking about this. One of my friends read it and absolutely loved it, and that is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. This book has absolutely exploded in popularity recently. I don't know where this came from, but I have heard nothing but good things about it. If you don't know what Dungeon Crawler Carl is about, I'm not even sure how to describe it, to be honest, but I think it is basically a alien space game show where humans have to compete to survive. It's a video game RPG style kind of story, and Carl also has a sidekick in it, which is a cat called Princess Donut. This book sounds so wild, but in the best way possible. I think I'm gonna love it. I'm anticipating this is gonna be a 5-star read, I'm not gonna lie. And this is a whole series. I'm not sure exactly how many books are in the series now, but I need a good series to sink my teeth into, and I can see this one being it. So they are all the books that I have brought recently. I feel like this was such a good haul. I've got so many books here that I genuinely cannot wait to read, so much so that I can't pick which to read next. If you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please tell me which one I should go for first. If you like this video, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.